today I'm going to show you how to add water to an in-floor heat or boiler system that does not have a water line plumbed directly to it. So this system right here, it's just an electric heat boiler basically that does this in-floor heat in this garage, and it does the upstairs floor heating as well. So you just have two different zones that it's feeding. And if we look at the pressure up here, you can see that it is low. So we need to add water to this. With a lot of systems, there's an additional water line that comes in to the system somewhere, and then you can just open the valve on it and it'll dump water in until it gets up to the right pressure. But in this case, we don't have that. And all that we have for adding any water to it is a couple of boiler drain ports right down here. So we're probably going to add onto this one because it's in line with this automatic bleeder. So if we do dump any air bubbles in, they'll go up to the top and we can bleed them off. This one, I guess it would also probably go up through the pump and not be an issue. But what I'm doing here is just getting some water, and it's not going to probably take very much water. So I'm just adding straight water in. But if your system was really low, you would probably want to add in a glycol mix. I think this system here probably has glycol in it. I don't know for sure, but we're just going to be adding a little bit of straight water in. So the system could be running with straight water. I just don't know, as I was not the person that put it in. So what we've got to actually add the water is this pump here. So here's the pump that we're using. It has a spot on it to prime it, but we actually might have some glycol in here from the last system that we did. So we're going to try running it without opening the prime and just see if we are lucky. This is the inlet side, and this is the outlet side. When we flip this switch on here, this hose we want to keep underwater so that it sucks, and then hopefully we'll get some bubbling out this hose and it'll self-prime. But if it doesn't self-prime, then we just take this cap off and add some water in directly at the top of the pump here. Which looks like there is some glycol in there, so we might not have to do anything. But we shall see. That has a really long thread on there, especially because it's just sealing with an O-ring. But okay, so keep that low. Sweet. So you can see it's blue. That's because there is a little glycol. There was glycol in the pump. So now we know we've got a good prime on it. We'll keep both ends underwater so that they don't lose the liquid. Now we're going to move everything over here. We're going to put the outlet one on this side here. I've got this on here just a little bit loose. I'm going to start the pump. Should push water up, and once I've got like a spray of water, I'll tighten this down, and then we'll open this, and that will let water into the system. We don't want to run the pump against a really high head pressure for a long time, but it's fine to use it like this. It's comparable to if your hose kinks. Okay, so again, I'm just going to turn this on and then tighten this while there's a little bit of water spraying out of it. Just like that, so that we minimize the air bubbles. So now that water can't drain back, and it's all the way up to here. And now I'm just going to turn this on and open this a little bit. So it looks like it actually used up more water than I was expecting. But you can see our pressure is now up to about 8 psi. We want to get it up to probably like 12 psi. So I'm going to add some more water in there. And to reverse prime the pump, if we open this right now, it'll actually spray water back out of the system. And you can see the automatic bleeder is doing its thing a little bit too. So I'm going to grab a little more water, and we'll put in just a little more get it up to about 12 psi. Actually, it's come up a little bit, up there to around 10. I think this thing's probably going to start heating now that it doesn't have low water pressure, and we'll be able to kind of monitor this. So we actually might not have to add any more. The needle was just a little slow in catching up. Boiler systems like this, you typically want to run between 10 psi and on the upper end like 20. If they get over 30 psi, then this valve right here will open. This relief valve, which there really should be a dip tube on there, or a downspout, I guess. They never put one on. Okay, so we're just going to test the in-floor heat now. Turned up the thermostat a little bit, and I'm hearing some noises over there. This zone pump came on. I can feel it humming. We can hear the water flowing. These are flow indicators. See these ones, those little floats are not visible. But on these ones here, that one's up to about 3. Yeah, they're all at about 3. So, oh yep, I can feel this is warm already. And that will start circulating through the floor. And you can see we're right there around 12 psi, which is kind of what I was going for. And as this warms up, it'll probably go up even a little more to more like 15 or 18. But I also think there's a couple air bubbles that need to get kicked out. So the pressure will likely go down a little too. But that is how you add water to one of these systems that doesn't have a water line plumbed directly to it. There's probably a couple other ways to add water to these systems, but this is how we've always done it. Just works good for us to use a pump like that. And then it's also really good for like initial startups. You can use the pump to pump water through individual lines on the zone and make sure you really push all the air out of the system before you start it up. That way you don't have to add water to it a bunch of times as the air bubbles work their way out of the system. So yeah, good little setup. Hope that you enjoyed the video, and I'll talk to you later.